Now, options as derivative instruments are agreements between two parties, wherein one party has the right but not the obligation to buy or sell a particular asset at a fixed price at a fixed date in the future. Now, there are two variants of the options. First is called the call option, which is an option to buy the asset at a fixed price. The second variant is called the put option, which is an option to sell the option at a fixed price at a pre-decided time. Now, just a little bit of terminology that we should be familiar with. Call option, option to buy, put option is an option to sell, delivery price is strike price, K, that is the price that the two parties are agreed upon. An American option is an option that can be exercised at any point till maturity. So if I have given an option for 1 year, at any point during that 1 year, you can exercise the option to buy or sell the stock. And a European option, conversely, would be an option that can only be exercised at maturity. So if there is a 1 year option, it can only be exercised at the end of 1 year, if at all. Small c will be represented as the value of a European call, capital C is an American call, small p is the value of a European put, and capital P will be an American put in our discussions from here on. Now, let's understand what a call option means, or what a payoff is to a call option. Now, call option gives me the right to buy the asset at a pre-decided price. So let's say the pre-decided price is K, let's say it's 100. As a holder of the option, I can go to the seller of the option and say that please sell me the stock for 100 rupees because we have an agreement. When will I do that? When the actual spot price is greater than 100. So let's say I had an agreement that 1 year later I can buy the stock at 100. If the stock actually is today at 150, will I buy it from the market at 150 or will I buy it from my counterparty? I'll obviously go and buy it from the counterparty at 100 and enjoy a profit of 50 rupees. So let's say the stock was at 150. If the stock was at 50 rupees though, let's say, would I exercise this option? Would I buy it from the market at 50 rupees or would I buy it from the counterparty at 100? I won't exercise it, I will just go and buy it from the market at 50 rupees. So that I don't exercise my option. Will it be a loss of 50? No. Because it is not an obligation. I am not obligated to buy it from him at 100. I will buy so if I choose to. So there is no downside for the buyer of an option once he has paid something called as the premium that I just explained. So the payoff for the long position or the buyer of a call option would be something like this. It will be no profit, no loss if the spot price is equal to the strike price. If the spot price at maturity is greater than the strike price, my profit would be equal to the extent that the spot price is greater than the strike price. So for every 1 unit increase over and above 100, my profit increases by 1 rupee. This is an exact 45-degree line. This will be the payoff for a call option. However, to buy any option, I have to pay a fixed amount upfront. Now we see that this guy has no loss. No matter what happens, he can never make a loss. Either he makes no profit or he makes some profit. To give the buyer this option and this payoff, the seller receives something called as a premium or an upfront value. That premium is exchanged upfront and the buyer's payoff will be reduced to the extent of that premium paid. So if the spot remains below the strike at maturity, the buyer of the call option would have just lost the premium. If the spot remains above the strike, his profit would be to whatever extent is the spot above the strike less the premium that would have to be paid upfront. So this dotted line that you see is the payoff to a long call position. Similarly, we can draw payoffs to various other strategies: a long put, a short call. This is how they would look. As a long put position, I pay the premium upfront. So a put option is an option which allows me to sell the stock to the counterparty at a pre-decided rate. So I have an option to sell it to him at a pre-decided rate of K. If the actual rate at the spot price is lower than K, I would exercise that option and sell it to him at a higher price. If the actual market price is higher than the price that I agreed upon, I would not exercise the option because I would rather go and sell it in the market. So if the spot is greater than the strike in the case of put option, I will not exercise the option. So whatever premium I had paid upfront would be my overall loss. If the spot is below the strike, I would exercise my option, sell it to him at a higher price, and buy it from the market at a lower price. So, to whatever extent is my spot lower than the strike would determine my profit. So, for a put option, my payoff is equal to K minus S. K is the strike price, S is the current spot price. Similarly, the payoffs for call position or the short position will be the mirror images for long position. As a short call, if the spot remains below the strike, the holder of the option will not exercise it. So I will just enjoy my premium. However, if the spot moves above the strike, the buyer will buy it from me at the pre-decided price of K. I will have to purchase it from the market at a higher price, which is the current spot price. So my loss will be to the tune of the difference between the spot and the strike. You see, as a seller of any option, your maximum upside is limited to the premium. You can only have a downside after that. For a call option, the downside can be infinite because the stock can go up to whatever value. For a put option, the downside is limited because the stock, due to the limited liability clause of most public markets, can only lose, it can only go down to a value of 0. As a stockholder, you can only lose all that you have invested, nothing more. So, if the spot remains above the strike, the holder of the option will not sell it to you. The spot is higher, so he will sell it in the market. However, if the spot moves below the strike price, the holder of the option will exercise his option and sell it to you at a higher price. You will have to further sell it in the market at a lower price because the spot is lower. So you will have a loss if the stock goes down to 0 rupees. The company goes bankrupt. That means you will have to buy the stock from the option holder at the pre-decided price of K, whereas you can now not sell it in the market for any price. So your loss would be maximum, would be equal to K minus the upfront premium that you have received. So this is about the payoff profiles of options. We study a very interesting relationship today between the prices or the premiums of various options called the put-call parity. Now in the stock markets, the big question is what should be the stock price? The stock price is what fluctuates. If we take a call whether it should be higher or lower depending on the expectations of the future, the stock price reacts to various things. In the futures market, it is the futures price. It is that F that is the big question. What should be the fair forwards price depending on the current stock price? If the stock price moves, the forward price moves. In the options markets, the variable is the premium. So my strike is defined, my time to maturity is defined, the current spot price is available to me. What should be the premium that the seller would be willing to accept for writing a call option or writing a put option? As in the previous slide we discussed that for a European call option, the premium is represented by small c. For a put option, it is represented by small p. Now we studied no arbitrage, which is that for two assets giving me the same value, I would be willing to pay the exact same price, nothing more or nothing less. Otherwise, there would be a risk-free profit opportunity for me available, which does not happen in the real world or should not ideally happen in the real world. So, assuming no arbitrage, let's try to derive an equation. Okay? Let's consider two portfolios. The same equation can be derived by using any two portfolios. We've chosen to use these portfolios. You can very well derive it using any other two portfolios which are giving you the same value in the future. So let me construct two portfolios. In one portfolio, I choose to buy a call option, I choose to sell a put option, and I choose to invest some money at the risk-free rate. Okay? So I buy a European call option with a strike price of K. All cash inflows into my portfolio are positive. All cash outflows from my portfolio would be represented as negative. Now I buy a call option, I sell a put option, and I invest K east part minus RT money at the risk-free rate with the bank. That is one portfolio that I construct. In the second portfolio, I just choose to buy the asset at the price of S, which is the current spot price. I'll buy it at that price. Now let's try to see what my final payoff will be from these two assets at maturity. Now at maturity, the spot price can either be greater than or equal to K, or it can be less than K. Is there any other possibility? No. So if the spot price is less than the strike price, will I gain anything on the call option? No, I will not choose to exercise it. I would rather buy it from the market because I will buy it at a higher price of K when the spot is less than K. So there is no payoff to me from my call option that I had bought. I had also sold a put option. Will there be any payoff for me from the put option? I had sold a put option. I had given somebody else the right to sell the stock to me at a price of K. If the actual spot price is lower than K, will he exercise the option? Yes. He will sell it to me at K and I can further sell it only at S, which is lower than K. So I will have a loss equal to K minus S. From the K raised to power minus RT that I had invested at the risk-free rate would have matured and I would have invested in a bank, I would get back K rupees. So what would be my total payoff in the first case if the spot price remains lower than K? It will be the K will get cancelled minus S, it will be the stock price at maturity. Let's say at maturity the spot price is greater than equal to K. What happens in that case? Will the call option come in the money? Yes. I had bought the call option initially. It would give me ST minus K because the spot is higher. I will go to the counterparty and say please sell the stock to me for K and I will in turn sell it for a higher price of ST. ST is greater than K. So my payoff will be to the tune of ST minus K. From the put option that I have sold, would I need to make any payment? No, the holder of the option will not come to me in the first place. He will go to the market and sell it at a higher price of ST. But actually sell it to me at a lower price of K. So no payoff on the put option. I had invested K raised to power minus RT, which would have matured up to a value of K. So let's see what is my total payoff in case the spot is above or greater than K. It will again sum up to ST. So in both cases, from my first portfolio, I am getting a payoff equal to, or my final portfolio value is equal to the spot price at maturity, the spot stock price at maturity. From my second portfolio, in which I had just bought an asset, what would I get at maturity? It's the stock that I bought, whatever is the value of the stock is the value of that portfolio. So the value would be the stock price. Now do I see that both these portfolios are getting me the exact same payoff in all circumstances? I'm sorry, I forgot to mention the options are European. They cannot be exercised before maturity. So both portfolios are giving me the exact same payoff, which implies through the principle of no arbitrage that I would be willing to pay the exact same price for them at initiation. What is the price that I need to pay for the first portfolio? I need to buy a call option, so I'll have to pay the premium of C. I'm selling a put option, so I will receive the premium of P. I am investing at the risk rate. Now, an investment is a cash outflow because I'm going and giving the bank the money. A borrowing would be a cash inflow. So I'm investing K raised to power minus RT in a bank. This is the cost of my first portfolio. It has to be equal to the cost of my second portfolio through no arbitrage. The cost of buying the asset or buying the stock at the current price is what? Is the spot price. So I'll have to pay S rupees to purchase that stock.